Hi, this is Jennie Bharaj, and we are here at Twitchcon 2015. This is the first ever convention celebrating everything Twitch.tv. Now today, we are talking to Twitch broadcasters. Why don't you introduce yourself and your channel?
My name is Stephanie, but I go by FemSteph.
I am Brianna, and I go by Brialeigh.
Okay, now tell us more about your channels.
So I've been streaming for about 2 years now, and it was something that started off as kind of like a hobby, and I just really fell in love with it, and it's definitely like a passion of mine. I actually work full-time and stream full-time, so a lot of people call me a robot because I don't sleep very often anymore.
Yeah, and?
I started streaming about a year ago, and then I got partnered back in February, and I've been doing it part-time, full-time, also working with graphic design, like for one of my friends who's teaching me everything. So it's been like a hobby growing into a actual job very similar to Fem over here. But she is way above all of my leagues, so I adore her.
Great. Now, how many followers do you guys have?
I'm just about to break 70,000.
Wow, and?
I'm at 21.
That is impressive. Wow. Now, can you tell the gamers how you guys got so many followers?
Honestly, what it comes down to is really knowing other streamers in the community and, you know, playing games with them. It helps because then you get a little bit more exposure that way.
Great.
Networking, and then also I like trying to make your viewers feel like they know you. I know Steph does a really good job of doing that as well, even though she like doesn't mention it. We try to make our own community as like a family, so that's how I know like welcome other people into the chat. So that way when someone like random talks, they don't feel as though it's a clique, because it is a place that you can go that feels like home. So that's what I do. Everyone has their own little thing. So, but yeah.
So my like thing when someone subs is actually like welcome to the family, because it's well.
Great. I love that. Welcome to the family.
It's actually, I don't know if you guys should link this, but there is an amazing song that someone made that is welcome to the family. Welcome to the, they made it into a rap, and it's just little sound bites of her being like saying like really bad. I don't know how inappropriate it can be, but it's very dirty and it's hilarious. It is great. Look it up. You will not regret it. Trust me. Welcome to the family.
What is your comment on this?
Please don't. Just ignore that. Don't Google it. Don't look for it. It's fine. You don't need to know about it.
That is great. Now, okay, let's talk about TwitchCon. What do you guys love most about TwitchCon so far?
Honestly, what it really comes down to is being able to meet your community in person. Like we said, really we want to try and make family type communities where everyone's close-knit and everyone really loves seeing each other and hanging out with each other every day. So to be able to come to something like this and have a venue where you can put faces to names and actually give people hugs and high fives and really like connect and bond with people that watch you every day, that's hands down my favorite part of this.
Same thing, meeting your subs, meeting your followers, and also meeting the other people that you've like played games with online, like being able to meet like Steph, or being able to hang out with any of the other people that I play with, whether it's like occasionally me dragging down Brennan in Rocket League and fighting you, or some like random person that I've met through like so many different people. It's just like the tree of how you meet people. It's just awesome. So friendship time, really. Friendship time.
I love that. Okay, so where do you see areas of improvement at TwitchCon?
I am from a smaller town, so San Francisco itself is frightening to me. Like, I am just generally scared in this area. But in the convention, it feels small, but I like it. I know like it's gonna grow. I haven't really had any problems with it. Like, it's open, I'm not too crowded, or I don't feel too crowded. That was not a sentence. So do you have anything that you thought was like changed?
So like I've gone to almost every con, like PAX, E3, Comic-Con, like I've done almost all of them. So for me, it's actually really nice to see something a little smaller scale, because it's a much more intimate environment. You don't have to like fight crowds to see stuff or do stuff. But I am curious to see how Twitch grows this, because really at this rate, I don't think it's sustainable to have just this few booths and stuff like that. So how they're gonna grow it, how they're gonna continue to keep it like an intimate venue that is focused on the broadcasters and their communities, but also bring more an element of stuff to do and things to play and see. Hopefully publishers get more involved and they bring their games, and it becomes something where smaller streamers can actually find sponsorships and find ways to grow their channels.
Ideal. I know the one thing I did think of is that I did not receive my tickets in the mail, and I know like there was like a mix-up. So that's not like the con, but I know that they had to like hand pick out all of the partners and mail them like specifically. So it's just like it's somewhere lost. So I had to like wait forever to get this thing, which was just, it's not a big deal. Just kind of was like, no, my tickets.
No, that's great input. Now you mentioned sponsorships. A lot of gamers do want to get into Twitch broadcasting, but they're not really sure how to make money from it. So how do you make money from it?
Bria touched on this earlier. Really what it comes down to is building a community that's sustainable. So people that want to continue seeing you and watching you play games day in and day out, because then they'll sub to you, then you have ad revenue, and then you have, tips are a really big part of streaming. And so when you have a community that's willing to give back to you for giving all your time and energy and effort into it, that's really, you just have to not get discouraged, because that's the number one thing I've really heard with a lot of smaller streamers is it's very discouraging to see your numbers drop or not see the consistency that you're used to. And so just you got to keep at it, and you got to make sure that your fans know you love them so that they want to continue to come back and support you.
It's like, to me, it's like who you need to like create your community and just like network and not focus on your numbers, because you will hate your life, because it is very hard to have like a couple hundred one day and then the next day maybe you're only at 100 or something, and you're like, what did I do? And maybe there was a football game that day, or maybe like something terrible. Like, you can't control what they're gonna do. You need to try to be aware of what you can do to make it better, but understand it might not be your fault, and to not beat yourself up, because then you will not enjoy it, and it will not be about streaming. That's like the number one thing I find with people coming like, oh, how can I make streaming a thing? It's like, you can't make it your business. It has to be something that you start doing that you fall in love with accidentally and get addicted to, because otherwise you won't like it. It won't. So yeah.
No, that's great. Now, how important is marketing and branding your Twitch channel?
I feel like to that question, I want to say it's like really important, just like with the way that it's like worded. I recently started kind of doing like rebranding. I know as like a smaller streamer trying to figure out which direction I want to go, and especially being at a weird time in my life with college and work and all that, it really kind of affected it. But branding in general for a streamer is super important, because people will remember you. Like, whether it's like your logo or you have some sort of illustration or a mascot, it like needs to be more than just a cat. It's like, what makes this different? What makes this awesome? So like I've been doing like some illustration works for some streamers, and trying to make them stand out is just like very like difficult. But once you get it, it's like, that is perfect. That is beautiful, and I love it, and it's amazing. So yes.
Awesome. And how important is branding for a Twitch channel?
Honestly, it's very, very important. At the end of the day, you want to be identifiable, you want people to recognize you, you want a friend to say, oh, I watched FemSteph's channel, and then to say, oh, I know who she is because I've heard of her name, or I've heard of her on other streams or whatever. So it's hugely important. I do advise people to take their time though, because once you settle on a brand, it's really hard to kind of switch it unless you're really big. Like an example is Josh OG. He went by Weeds for a very long time, and he recently rebranded, and it was a really good move for him. But unless you're at that level, you're basically starting your channel over again if you're a smaller streamer. So take your time, make sure you find a logo and a name that you really are passionate about and are willing to stick to, and colors, yeah. Just in general, like all of it. I mean, obviously you can evolve it as time goes on, but if you're just starting out, it's really important to like be comfortable with it. Yeah.
Now you keep on mentioning colors. Why is that?
So I recently, I was getting work done a couple months ago with this graphic designer. She's the wife of Silent Sentry. It's Charlie in Gamerland, and she is the best designer I've ever worked with, and I love her to death. And she recently wanted me to join her team because she's growing her small business, and she has taught me all about branding, and I've been taking classes online, and I didn't realize how much or anyone associates color with a certain thing, whether it's Target and their little symbol with a little dot in the middle as a target. I had to create a logo for myself recently, and so I'm kind of learning how hard it is, but how important it is, because once you have an image and you have like your own colors, like I will wear like a certain, like blue is one of my colors, so I will have certain, like that, and gold, so I'll have gold like things, yeah. And Twitch, yeah, Twitch purple, like you know this Twitch purple. Like you associate things with certain colors, and so if you are starting out and you are serious about it, do not stall by waiting on logo. Like don't be like, oh, I'm making my logo, so I'm still, you know, no. Like start streaming, start getting work done, but also think about what colors, what images. If you're gonna have a mascot, is it gonna be a corgi, or is it gonna be like, mine's a hedgehog, and so because I have a hedgehog and she's adorable, but like these are questions. So, yeah. She's so cute. But anyways, so yeah, so those little questions will help you define who you are and where you are headed. So create your channel, figure out what you want to be.
Great. Now, while we're talking about Twitch channels and branding yourselves, a lot of Twitch streamers actually curse and have really mature content. How do you guys feel about the censorship on Twitch.tv for adult-only video games?
So my channel is definitely a mature channel.
What is it? Tell us more.
Are we no?
Sing the song. Stop it. Stop advertising the damn song.
It's amazing. Okay, I won't sing it, but if you look at the song, you will see her channel is definitely mature.
We'll try to squeeze it into the video. Cool?
Yes, do it. No, seriously, you gotta do it. You don't know yet, but you have to.
So I curse a lot. I am a little more on the vulgar side, I would say, but at the end of the day, if you're going to censor material on Twitch, if it's content related, if it's hypersexual or hyper violent, that's one thing. I mean, honestly, coming to TwitchCon has kind of opened my eyes a little bit, because I didn't realize how young my audience is. There's so many teenagers and younger kids who watch my content. It's making me realize that maybe I should tone it down a little bit. So hopefully, you know, the censorship thing is it's in good taste, and there's a reason for it, because there are younger people on Twitch, and it's very easy to lie and say that you're mature or that you're over 18 when you're not on the internet. So I get it. I get it.
I completely understand, because I know that I have had people who have told me like they're actually 11 in my channel, and I'm like, you're not supposed to be on the internet. Go outside. Like, I don't know what are you doing? Or those little children who will lie and say they're 18 just to go into places of the internet that they shouldn't be going. And so I can see where they're coming from. I don't feel as though I've read up on it enough to really be educated to have a formal opinion, but I do know that, especially as of late, I've been trying to curse. I still curse a lot, but I try to curse less and try to make things like less sexualized, because especially when you meet the people that are watching, you're like, oh, geez, well, that's weird. Oh God, okay. So yeah, that's just kind of like the whole experience, which makes this like a very important con, because it really will help like define where I will go in the future.
Yeah, and yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's a great statement. Now, to end this interview off, do you guys have a special message to the gamer?
To the who?
To the gamer.
To the gamer? Just in general? Oh, oh my God, Bria, you're killing me.
This is so great. So excited to listen to the song.
Please don't. Just really.
I don't want to overhype it. I feel like I'm overhyping it now. It's just like this random. It's probably overhyped now, but it's
definitely overhyped.
It's probably, it's terrible. Don't watch it. Just kidding. Totally lied. But welcome to the family. Suck my dick. That's her message. Mine is, I'm Brialeigh. I'm here to slay. That's mine.